Guys, you know it's not over, right? Arsenal versus PSG, the game is not over. Some of the online discourse I have seen online this week after Tuesday night's 1-0 loss to PSG at home has been atrocious. It seems like the fans seem to think, on Twitter especially, that the whole tie is over and Arsenal have crashed out of the Champions League already. We still have one more game to go, at least against PSG, where we can potentially turn it around. Hopefully we do so, but let's discuss it in today's video. Arsenal obviously played Bournemouth on Saturday night in a game where there is not a lot riding on it for the Gunners. Obviously, Bournemouth can potentially get European football this season, so they have a lot more to play for in this tie. So, do Arsenal go into this as underdogs? Obviously not. We are still Arsenal Football Club, a very good team. What is the importance of this game? Well, I actually think we need to take it quite seriously. Yes, PSG is a much more important game, don't get me wrong, but it is important that Arsenal get some minutes into players that need it, e.g. Ben White or Nwaneri, but also play a strong team to get momentum and try and get a positive outcome in the game to build confidence. Because we need to go into PSG all guns blazing. It's important, obviously, not to risk players who could be in the red zone, but equally, I think it's important to play the starters that are going to play against PSG on Wednesday night, because we need to build up those relationships on the field, build up the momentum, and build up the match sharpness that Arsenal do need in the next leg at the Parc des Princes. Go back to that ill-fated Tuesday game against PSG in the Champions League. Arsenal created two big chances in the game. 3 if you include Martinelli's one where he failed to latch on against Bukayo Saka. So the 2 big chances fell to Trossard and Martinelli, who were both one-on-one. But what created those chances? What made the space available for Martinelli and Leandro Trossard to exploit? Well, that's quite simple, really. That was the fact of deep runners, whether it be Miles, Lewis Skelly, or Declan Rice running through the midfield. With Rice's positioning, that we weren't able to actually exploit space by running with his running power as much as we would have wanted to, because he had to play in a more defensive role with Thomas Partey out. So a key factor that could be a decider in the next leg of the Champions League is Thomas Partey coming back into the fold. He is now not suspended. He's now available, obviously, for selection, and I think him at the base of midfield will be key in the return leg. If we are to get through the tie against PSG, which I think we can do, we can play football to get a 2-0 lead away at Paris Saint-Germain. We've done it countless massive games in Arteta's tenure. Then we are going to need Thomas Partey at the base of that midfield. Yes, Arsenal might be progressing past him next season, bringing in Zubimendi, maybe another midfielder. I'd be more open to Partey staying if he wasn't morally a little bit questionable. But he is key at the moment to how we've lined up all season. We would need him at the base. We then need Declan Rice ahead to use Declan Rice's running power to exploit the big gaps in between PSG's midfield. Because once you break down their press, it then becomes into a lengthy game, and none of their midfielders have the capability to take out Rice over the course of through the midfield. Their defensive midfielders are all tight space players, not long distance runners. Declan Rice can exploit that space. Miles Lewis Skelly can exploit that space. And weirdly, one that I think could be key is Ben White. He can exploit that space if given the opportunity to overlap. As well as that, Timber's also very good at busting through midfield, but he's more of a close space dribbler, so I'd be worried about him trying to break the press with his dribbles. So mainly I'm looking at Skelly and Rice, especially with Rice being in a more advanced position and Partey's ability to break a press and be press proven, so to speak, when he is on the ball by dropping a shoulder. So Thomas Partey is key for this game against PSG. I genuinely think it is that important. I think that Thomas Partey is the only way that we can beat PSG at the Parc des Princes, and therefore his fitness is pretty massive. Therefore, because of his injury record, he is one player that I wouldn't risk against Bournemouth, or if I was to risk him, I'd give him 60 minutes maximum. We'd get him off, protect him in cotton wool. He needs to be able to play a full 90 or more at the Parc des Princes. Now, going back to that ill-fated night on Tuesday against PSG, Arteta's side started poorly in the first 20 minutes. We conceded very early on, and we looked a little bit scared, it's fair to say. Now, Arteta in his press conference stated that in possession, in the first 20 minutes, we were doing something wrong, which led us to not be able to press as effectively as we would have liked, and as we did for the rest of the 90 once we controlled the game. Now, he didn't really tell us what that is, but the two things I noticed that we did after 20 minutes was that Bukayo Saka was initially in the space between the fullback and their winger, and effectively he was a lot higher up in possession when we had the ball after 20 minutes, as in he was closer to Mendes or even in behind Mendes in a lot of circumstances, which meant that his action point in the press could be a lot quicker. He could engage a lot quicker with the person who had the ball, meaning he could press more effectively. They played it around Bukayo Saka on the right side prior to that, so I think that could be something that Arteta's touching upon. Also, as well, Declan Rice in the press started going more on the right-hand side and in possession on the right-hand side for a period after the 20th minute, and that settled the game down a bit because we stopped them exploiting down that left-hand side. So that is something that I have to say I think that we did well after 20 minutes. I mean, overall in the game, we conceded very little other than their goal. Yes, they had a few one-on-ones that were dodgy offsides, but in terms of XG, we had the highest XG created in the Champions League in the first leg, and we had nothing to show for it. So that just shows we can get goals. It shows we can do the business. It's just a case of getting the fine margins right. If we get an early goal against PSG, I think there is all to play for. It's hard, but we can do it. We're Arsenal Football Club. We are the Arsenal. Without a shadow of a doubt, this team, this manager can get us through to the final. It's going to need a bit of luck. It's going to need a lot of effort. But we've got nothing else to play for. I don't know why online the discourse is so negative. I don't know why the Arsenal fans have almost given up. We've beaten Real Madrid. Real Madrid, yes, they're a less work-heavy team and probably less of a team than PSG, but individual talent-wise, they are a level above. So we can do it. We just got to work hard, buckle down, get the players in the right areas, get Bukayo Saka the ball in the box more importantly. Hope the referee doesn't blow up for stupid decisions, such as when Saka tackled Nuno Mendes and he gave a foul to Nuno Mendes for no reason at all. But try our best, and I genuinely think we have a chance of reaching this Champions League final. Whatever happens, though, the team need the discourse to change. The team need the fans to be on side. The team need that positive reaction both online and at the stadium. So the fans that go there, I hope they give it all. Hope they're really loud and raucous throughout the whole 90. Because PSG fans showed basically the rule book of how to behave as online fans in a European tie in the first leg. They were instrumental in both PSG's team performance, but also the atmosphere that was created. They sucked the life out of the Emirates, which wasn't ideal. But we can win. We can. So be positive. Rice is the key. We know how good this team is. Let's all pray for a good result. But not only that, let's support the boys. Ødegaard included, he gets a lot of hate online. Support everyone, because they are the only ones who can actually make it happen. Help them make it happen. Give them positive energy. Give the fan base positive energy. My God, the negative reaction. We're in a Champions League semi-final here. We haven't been in one of these since 2009. So let's go out. Let's give it all we've got and hope for the best. I believe we can make the final. I pray we do make the final. There are reasons to be positive. Thomas Partey is a massive part of how we play recently. And he is a massive part in allowing Declan Rice to go forward, which is the only way we really created chances in the last game. That can happen again. Keep the faith, lads. Keep the faith, in the words of Bon Jovi. And if you have enjoyed, please be sure to like on this video. Please be sure to subscribe for more Arsenal and football related content. I'm going to be doing a video very shortly on my team of the season for the Premier League. So if you do like that type of thing, please be sure to even turn the notification bell on. It really does help the channel out. We've got 140 subscribers now. I am grateful to every single one of you. I didn't think we'd be able to get this far. But again, thank you so much for all your support. It's been lovely seeing the messages, because obviously I got married. It's been lovely seeing the messages support surrounding that. And yeah, let's go. Come on, the Arsenal. Let's beat PSG. See you next time. Goodbye.